Welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rollison, also known as T-Roll, and tonight I am joined by my very good friend, singular, Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy. Sandy, we don't have Amato with us tonight.
He's gone, man. Where'd he go?
He quit. No, he didn't quit. He's just not here tonight. I wasn't here last week, and now Amato's not here this week.
That's right.
And you're gone next week. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No. I'm here.
I think we're all together next week, but I'm honestly not even sure.
Dude, what are you talking about? It's a huge premiere next week.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We've got a big movie to watch next week. Something about Fishman.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah. We're very excited about that one.
Can't wait to watch that movie.
Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be a fun review, though. Definitely tune in for that because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll... fun's a good word for it,
yeah.
I think.
I think we'll have a good time. Not watching it, but
all right.
talking about it.
We'll talk about that next week. Real quick, shout out to all of our listeners. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Want to remind you to follow us on social media at Royal Geek Pod. Please make sure you are subscribed to the podcast wherever you listen. And, yeah, I wasn't here last week. You guys reviewed episode number 5 of Monarch.
Yeah.
Without me. And again, like I said earlier, now we are reviewing episode 6 without Amato. So, yeah. Amato, we miss you. Wish you were here, man. Yeah, it was interesting. Excited. We just watched it together.
We did,
Yeah, but we have not had, outside of the commentary we have during the episode, we haven't had any, how do I say this? We haven't had any substantial conversation about this yet.
Yeah.
So this is fresh, off the dome. Here we go. Should probably say spoiler warning.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so spoiler warning. This episode, number 6, was called Terrifying Miracles.
Yep, that's right.
Terrifying Miracles. Yeah. What you think, Justin?
All right. So, Monarch, the series, the show. I think it's a solid show so far. We have seen a bit of drops since
it started off hot.
Yes, it was very hot.
I was like, "Yo."
Here's my biggest issue with the series so far. My biggest issue is that that's as far as the storyline goes. Yes, Kate's character, but the accessibility. Like, I feel like not enough people are watching this right now because of the Apple TV Plus exclusive. Yeah, because I would love to talk about this with way more people, but I guess my friend group, they don't subscribe to Apple TV. I don't know. That's the biggest thing, because Apple has like some of the biggest like bangers when it comes to like TV series.
It's not that expensive, right?
It's not.
Like
no, it's $6.99.
$6.99.
That's it.
Netflix is $18.99.
Yeah, I was about to say the $21.99 if you're getting the 4K package.
Oh,
so
gosh.
Yeah.
Like every other app almost is maybe more.
Yeah. Max is $16.99.
Max is $16.99.
Yeah.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, Apple's $6.99 right now, and but yeah, I think that's my biggest complaint, is that even if I wanted to talk about it with somebody, it's literally just you and Shmato. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, how many people are listening to our podcast right now?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But in fairness, we're in a really dry spell of content where this is kind of our excuse to hang out once a week. Don't tell our wives. But anyways, yeah, I agree, and it feels interesting. And man, I wish Amato was here. Maybe did you guys talk about this last week about just the accessibility of the show?
We did not. No.
Maybe we could do it next time we're all together, because it very much feels that way. Like,
Amato's got to share my login. Like, that's how. Like, that's what we're at right now with accessibility.
No, that is not true. He just comes over to watch.
Right. Correct. Right? Yeah, that's what I meant by share. Like, we share the screen that we're watching.
Okay,
it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, sure. On your Wi-Fi network, your home Wi-Fi network. Yeah. No, but it is interesting where Apple is the most one of the most recognizable brands in the whole world.
Yes.
They make quality, quality. Even if you're not an Apple guy.
I'm not.
You're not an iPhone guy, but everything they do it crisp. They do it clean. Even if you think it's copy and paste from other cell phone companies, the iPhone, it's clean and crisp. Apple TV, the app is clean and crisp.
Yes, it is.
It's very crisp. It's got great shows.
The shows,
Ted Lasso,
too.
Severance, Slow Horses. There's so many good shows on here.
The one thing that I've noticed about Apple shows is that, like, this clean look to it, like the lighting in the shows are always like pristine. Like, it looks visually stunning.
Quality, right? So why aren't people watching? Why aren't people spending money on one of the biggest name brands in the whole world?
Yeah, that's a good point. You mentioned some great shows. Like I recently just got into Slow Horses, and it is a phenomenal show. Huh? It is incredible.
Yeah.
And Severance, we've talked about Severance.
Maybe we might even review. That'd be a fun review on.
That'd be a trippy review, actually.
Yeah, that'd be really trippy.
But I think that's my biggest thing, man.
I agree with you. Like it doesn't have, a lot of our friends, in real life, off the pod. We do have friends, by the way.
IRL,
aren't watching Monarch.
Yeah. I text Sweat. I said, "Hey, are you watching Monarch at all?"
He said, "What's that?"
Because he's an Apple guy, right?
Yeah.
He's an Apple guy. He's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, there's just some inexplainable thing. I don't know. We have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little unfortunate, and I think the first 2 or 3 episodes were like, "Yo, is this the greatest show ever?"
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no.
And again, like the storyline is there's still a lot of promise because the whole idea of Titans, it's always something that catches the eye, literally. But it feels like, and I can't. This is where I wish Amato was here because he's just so good at like pinpointing the writing, the story, the breakdown, why I might feel this way, but it feels like it's just kind of missing something in these last 2 or 3 episodes. Like I'm not as enthralled as I was the first couple. Why is that?
Yeah, so Shimano and I clearly you didn't listen.
Well, because as you know,
yeah, of course.
I watched.
You're a procrastinator. Yeah.
Well, I am, but I was out of the country. There's a lot going on, and I watched episode 5 today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. So, I had to finish it with you.
Unfortunately, I did want to listen to the pod. I genuinely did, but I couldn't.
So Shimano and I both brought up some pretty good points, and we feel like it is 2 to 3 storylines that are separate shows converging into one main show. So like you have the flashbacks of the olden days, the 50s, which I'm so thankful we got a good portion of that because
some of that today.
Those charactcharacters, I really like those characters.
Right.
Every from General Puckett all the way to Dr. Moira. Like those are the ones I'm really liking. Those characters. That's one storyline, and that you could focus the whole series on that, and I'll be in. I'll be hooked on it. And then we have the other storyline of Shaw in older years, where he is. What did he do with Monarch in the past? Like, what is going on with him? Like, why does he care so much about trying to figure out and save these Titans or right some wrongs from the past? Right? There's that storyline, and then there's the storyline of like the knuckleheads is what I'm going to say. Like these 3 young people who have no grasp for the gravity,
the bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly, of what's actually happening around them. They're more focused on, well, I mean, I get it, trying to see if your dad's alive. That's great, cool.
Yeah, but you saw him. He's alive.
Yeah.
You just saw Godzilla.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw your dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, like, you're going to tell me, like, you're going to, like, how do you, like, have an encounter with Godzilla in the Algerian desert? And you're like, no, we can't chase that lead. We have to find Dad. When it's like, have they not learned? Like, they're gonna find him at the next Titan meetup, anyways, because their dad is clearly some sort of Titan lure genius.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing.
He's got the random bloodline, so obviously they have something. A score to settle with Godzilla.
It's a legacy.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Legacy of monsters.
I wonder why they call it that. Yeah. but yeah. So like those 3 storylines are crammed into this series, and I feel like they just don't know where to go, or they're not sure what to focus on.
Yeah.
I know what they need to focus on because it's got me all like the Monarch storyline with the past and present. I'm all about that. Like, I feel like the sideshow of Dad, is Dad okay? Like, well, this whole, like, I get it. They're supposed to be the audience representation in this whole entire thing, but Shaw, let's follow Shaw around. Like, what is Shaw doing? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's where we really just kind of lose.
So we're in episode 6.
Yeah.
And I feel like the whole idea of, like, is Dad alive should have been concluded by, at the latest, episode 4. It just feels like there's a couple episodes too late where it's like, are we still dragging this out? Like, maybe by episode 7 we're gonna finally have that moment. So we know he's alive now, which I guess is good.
Yeah.
But we still haven't had that, reunion.
Right.
Moment,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. No.
And I feel like it's just dragging and it's like until there's closure with Dad, Kate and Kentaro are just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I do. I really do. And especially when like this bigger picture that has been more revealed this episode with Shaw's like, we're trying to save hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people. That sounds like it should be meaningful. But yet their dad's more important than thousands of millions of people.
Yeah, Kate and Kentaro are, exactly. And it's like, maybe he was a good dad, but he also kind of wasn't.
No.
Which I can't, It's going to be amazing when he's like, oh, Kate.
This is my son that you...
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to
I'm
play
glad
that.
you two are getting along. Like, yeah.
Yeah, actually, we're not.
It's a weird situation.
And then there's the whole storyline of May,
where
where it's like...
The sub-storylines in the show is getting a little out of control.
Yeah, I feel like it's just too many. It's just too...
Yeah.
It's too crowded of a storyline. There's too many... they need a new temporal loom to kind of bring everything together.
We need a good sacred timeline is what we need here.
Yeah, it's just
sacred storyline.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
a
little too much.
I will say this: anything that they've done so far involving Titans, like obviously, is in their wheelhouse.
Yeah,
okay, so we go to 1955 in the flashbacks, and we see Keiko and Billy at this time, I guess.
Billy.
I guess when you grow up, you become a Bill, but when you're still, middle-aged, younger, you're Billy.
Still Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Billy.
Don't wish that upon anyone.
Yeah, no, I don't either. They are tracking this Titan, and they're talking about gamma radiations, which is obviously coincided with what they're researching in the present time as well.
Yeah.
And they're trying to research Titans so they can get funding for their stuff. Like, I'm all about that storyline, man. I want to hear.
Give me more.
Yeah, how Monarch got the way they were, and we get a 1955 scene where there's like a ball or something like a gala or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm really digging the chemistry between Lee and Keiko. Like, I mean, this will they won't they? No, I mean, I had an inkling. Like, okay, I'm sure they're gonna be something, but I didn't feel like I thought they were actually gonna get together, but I don't know.
Well, they did kiss.
They did kiss.
It makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Are they
actually Randas and instead they're
Shaws?
Shaws?
Shaws, yeah. The legacy of monsters is not the legacy of Randa; it's the legacy of Shaw.
Right. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But that storyline is intriguing. Like, and why don't we spend more time there? Right, that kind of thing.
Because, I know, but we're still focused on Kate and Kentaro, and again, like you said, they are meant to represent us, like just the normal, everyday kind of human.
Yeah, not the scientist,
not the specialist,
soldier. Yeah,
not the soldier, not the super spy, not the Monarch agent.
Correct.
They're just one's a school teacher, one's an artist.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah, and then here's another storyline: this whole French chick, who like all of a sudden is like Team Shaw, and do you buy that?
This came on pretty quick.
Do you buy it?
I mean, I don't buy it as far as how fast it happened, but now that it's happened, I'm like, okay, yeah, I buy it now.
You think so?
I mean, Tim was with the other person who's the head of Monarch. He was with her, and she was separate. Like, I feel like if they were together, then
I could see a world where the deputy director and this French chick that I don't even know her name.
Michelle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or Michelle. Yeah.
Michelle. Sorry, off on a tangent now. But I could see a world where this is a scheme for like the deputy director came up with this idea.
It's a long play.
I could see it because she's like gaining the trust of Shaw.
I feel like Shaw would be pretty hard to
trick.
Yeah, manipulate. because he's seen some stuff. Like he's been around. Like he's almost 90, right? Like he's been around
supposedly.
So yeah, I know they didn't address that.
Maybe chasing Titans keeps you young.
Amato and I, we speculated on some radiation theories.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you deal with gamma that long.
But the truth is, again, this is like we need a chalkboard.
Yeah, we need a corkboard, chalkboard. We need red yarn.
All the different storylines.
Yes, correct.
Subplots. What's the main storyline?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you look at the title, Legacy of Monsters. Yes, we have this chasing Godzilla kind of thing, right? Going from like the early 50s until present day, right?
Yeah.
This is I mean, but I don't think the monsters they're talking about are Godzilla and the Titans. I think the monsters they're talking about is like the creation of Monarch, I think.
Interesting.
And because by the end of this episode, Shaw has lost command of Monarch and it has been turned over to military and government, right? And more of the following orders, whereas Shaw was more of like following his friends and following their guidance, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like this legacy of monsters, Monarch, right? Yes, they're monster hunters, but essentially
they're the real monsters.
They're the real monsters now because the people who wanted to nuke Godzilla in the first place now have full control of Monarch, whereas it has gone from a research biological zoologist like type research to now it is full on like warfare. How we destroy these people, like these monsters, like how do we destroy these things?
But they haven't been successful at anything they've tried in any movie or.
Well, yeah, no, not at all. And the crazy thing is, like, we have in the last several Godzilla movies and Kong movies, right? Like, there's these monster sympathizers. Like these people have come to the surface, and they're more like, we need to protect Godzilla. We need he's our friend. Like he's trying to do this to help us, right? Like
he's our friend.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like Barney.
Oh no. But how are they able to convey that message to Godzilla himself, right? Like that's the thing. Like when Kate said,
yeah, I know
he looked at me.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to my mind was like, well, he looked at all you guys. You were all standing right there. Like it wasn't just you, Kate. Like
it's true, but at the same time, I feel like they were really deliberate. Like the writers, the director, producer, they were real deliberate to try to show like Godzilla's eyes changed, his pupils changed when he saw them.
Right, correct.
Yeah, it does make me wonder when Godzilla's just going ham on other Titans.
Is he taking into
destroying
account
cities?
People? Yeah.
Like when I'm playing football in a field and I step on an anthill.
Right. That's what it is. What comes to mind is, I know, T-Roll, you're not going to get this reference at all.
Great.
But there was growing up in the 90s as a child of the 90s and early 2000s, there was a cartoon show of Godzilla back in the day. And it was Godzilla was the main, obviously, monster, but then there was Godzuki. I don't know, all the people out there who actually get this reference are like, oh my gosh, what flash was that? But it was like a smaller Godzilla, and he like hung out with the humans and that kind of stuff, right? But
did he talk?
No, he didn't talk.
Okay.
He didn't talk. He was just more like a pet, kind of, right? But he was like their size. But he was
like Clifford the Red Dog, kind of.
Yeah, but their size, like
literally human size.
Yeah, human size. Like he was like 6 foot. Like that's
okay.
Hanging out and chilling with them.
Okay.
And anytime there was like trouble or monsters would come up, like Godzuki would be like, "I'm calling Godzilla." Like he would be like, like, and Godzilla would show up and like save the day. But Godzuki was the in between. To communicate to Godzilla and humans, right? Because he hung out with the humans all the time. Like they need something like that in this movies franchise to be the mediator. But obviously, it doesn't make sense to have a Godzuki type character in this universe. But I feel like that's the biggest thing is how are we as the audience and fans of the movie series going to be able to buy in and believe that Godzilla is quote unquote the good guy when there is no like buffer or bridge of communication to relay that kind of message.
Yeah.
So
it's a great thought.
I don't know, man.
Well,
because Shaw made it a big deal. Like I'm trying to save him.
Yeah.
How are you going to save him?
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to help him.
Yeah.
And I guess like they view the other Titans as bigger threats. Godzilla has almost felt like it's like, yeah, he's destroyed a couple cities along the way.
Yeah.
But he's the protector.
Yeah. Which in I think the latest movie, they really double down on that one. The Godzilla Kong movie. Where they're like, Godzilla, he only showed up here because so-and-so showed up. And he only showed up here because... So, like, he is Earth's natural protector, and the only reason that he exists is to keep order and Earth, like, solid and moving forward. And, I mean, I love that whole premise and idea. I do. I really do. But, I mean, I don't know. The humans... trying to destroy him, trying to keep him alive. Like, I don't know, this whole back and forth thing.
Right.
Like, I want this Apple TV Plus show to kind of get us to a point to where us as, like, humans are in full, like, support of Godzilla. That's kind of what I want. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to even say that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the hero of the story.
Yeah. Which... he's a giant lizard. Like where are we? We're sitting here on a freaking podcast talking about a freaking giant monster.
Yeah, I know.
So like, where do we go from there?
Change our lives and figure out some other new hobby. No, I mean, I think I don't know, man. I mean, it's not that it's not a bad show. The quality is good in terms of visually, it's stunning.
Yeah.
Some of the acting is really good.
Yeah. Like Kurt Russell's doing a great job.
Wyatt
Russell's doing a great job.
Yes.
Anybody in the 50s is doing a great job, for sure.
Tim is doing a great job.
Yeah, I like Tim.
I've loved Tim
His Columbo references this time, like he's
been great.
He's been killing it.
Yeah, I think Tim's good. I can't stand the three goons.
Yeah.
Or not goons, but the three just young little schmucks, right?
Yeah.
Kate, Kentaro.
Kentaro's the one I think I appreciate the most out of them.
Well,
he's actually active. He's doing something. Like he saved them in the last two episodes.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. He's trying.
Yeah, he legitimately is trying.
Yeah,
and he was the one at the end of this where he was like, they were waiting and see what he was going to say, and he's like, I'm going to stay with them. Like that kind of thing, right? Like he was the one that they were looking towards. But like May and Kate right now, I'm so off on them. I really am. May's wishy-washy.
I can't figure May out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Turn her back, sell them out. Like
she's
that
got
whole
a lot
thing.
of potential.
Yeah.
But even she's like, wait, what? You know, the French lady, Michelle.
Yeah.
I hope that's her name because I've been saying it.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. She calls her for help.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michelle actually shows up.
Right.
But they've got this whole quiet agreement. And now Kate did admit it that she did sell them out.
Mm-hmm.
But did she? And then all of a sudden...
Which she didn't. No, because Shaw and Michelle, like, they came on their own accord.
Yeah, they're not trying to... They're not representing
May
Monarch
outed herself.
She did that.
And she didn't need to.
She didn't need to.
Correct.
There's just all these kind of pointless storylines. And then now I'm wondering, like, okay, Godzilla shows up in this Algerian desert, and Shaw's like, okay, I'm actually holding on to the map now.
Oh yeah,
like
I could have taken it from you at any time. Is literally what he said.
He said that like 20 minutes earlier. Now he does it,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because Godzilla's around now, and he feels a little more hard pressed to, or maybe it's because like, hey, your dad's alive. We found your dad.
Yeah,
now,
you're fine. It's good.
Now
Yeah.
you go find him now.
Yeah.
But
I got other things to take care of. Yeah,
yeah, but all of a sudden Shaw, not that he's the villain, but all of a sudden Shaw is like, wait, what is Shaw doing exactly?
Yeah, right now I'm a little...
Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, I know. I get it. I'm still trying to process what Shaw's intents are now. He said he's trying to save Godzilla. That's the last thing that's like kind of I'm holding on to right now as far as his character development. Like, he went from somebody who was trying to find Hiro, right? He's trying to find him, the dad, and where he is. Like, that was his whole drive and motivation. And then when he got captured and stuff, it turned into... I'm trying to save Earth because I'm the only one who can figure out what's going on with these Titans. Like, it transitioned to that. And then now it's I have to follow Godzilla to save Godzilla. Like, it's so strange. Like, I mean, Kurt Russell's doing a great job. Like I'm into his character, but
Right.
what is the motive here? Like, what's the purpose here?
Yeah.
And
what's the motive of Monarch?
yeah. Well, I
Do
feel
you
like
know?
Monarch, the organization is setting up for like government bad.
Where they are.
People
and,
are
like,
people are
because this is somewhat of a prequel.
right. Yeah, people who are bumping the system are good, like that kind of thing. Like I feel like yes, this is a prequel, and I feel like what Shaw was talking about saving. This is a G-Day event times 1,000, 100, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's referring to the battle of Godzilla, like Gods and Monsters, that whole movie. I feel like that's what they were. This is alluding up to, and it's this big giant battle.
Yeah.
Which is cool that it ties in, but what can they do to prevent that? And then even when you watch the movie, like the humans, they have nothing in their control at all to do it. They are a little more organized in that movie, and part of me is trying to think like, what if the events in this show are what lead to them being so organized in the movie? Like I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting, and I know Shamato and I last week we were kind of harping on what's the purpose of the show, like what is the meaning of having this Monarch show that takes place in 2014, 2015, 2016, when we've already had a movie franchise that spans through like 2021. Like what's the purpose here? What gaps are we filling in? I don't know. Is this just to exist for the sake of existing?
I feel like this is a good example of another show that we're not binging it. We're going week by week. Maybe if we watched the whole series in one go, we wouldn't feel this way, because you wouldn't have a whole week to simmer on the fact that you can't stand Kate. You wouldn't have a whole week to simmer on the fact that you can't figure out what May is doing or her past or what you know. You don't have a whole week to simmer on what exactly is Shaw doing, what exactly is Monarch doing.
Why are we reviewing the show? Like that kind of.
But if we watch it all in one go, we wouldn't spend time thinking about those things. We would just click next.
Right. Correct.
So that's a little bit of the problem, where it's the delayed it's the anticipation being delayed. You know.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad show. I mean, it's
not. It really is not.
It's far from bad.
One of my TV movie reviewers that I follow, he said, if you have nothing else to watch, this is actually worth your while. That kind of thing. Like that's
exactly how I feel.
And that's kind of the season we're in. There's nothing really like captivating
That's
right now.
exactly right.
That is more of like general mainstream. Like yeah, sure, there's cool like anime niche things, and there's like action niche things, but like there's nothing really like, I don't know, like the Monster Universe is it's literally a universe, Monsterverse. Like there's no Marvel going on right now, and there's about to be, which I think next week we got to talk about that too. Like there's things we got to discuss.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Do you know how many episodes there are?
I believe there's 10.
Okay, so if it is 10, then we've only got 4 more, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was 12, but I could be wrong.
Another part of me thought it was 8, but yeah.
Wow. Hope it's not 8. Yeah. My thing is, it feels like there are so many storylines all at once.
Yeah.
And it's suffering from that a little bit, where you almost feel like they could trim the fat off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe have one of those characters die, and that's kind of taken care of. But sorry, and it's a really grim outlook. But yeah.
No, I think you're right though. Overall, I'm enjoying the series. It's a fun.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. I'll stick around. For it. However, I will say this: there are too many branch timelines, and we do need to get down this sacred timeline.
Yeah.
So
eventually,
it's all
going to catch up.
Yeah. Trim the fat. Let's streamline this on one particular storyline. Let's focus on that, and let's see where the show goes from here. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I say we cut it off here, Justin. It's been fun. Yeah. Shamato, again, we miss you. Wish you were here. We will be back next week. I think all 3 of us together, which will be good. We will be reviewing episode 7.
Yes.
So please come back for that right before Christmas. I'm assuming we might take a little bit of a break after that. I'm not sure, but at the very least next week we'll get together. We will have a podcast. It'll be episode 7 of Monarch. Looking forward to it. One reminder to all our listeners, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen and follow us on social media at Royal Geek Pod. And be sure to come back next week as we continue our review of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. With all that in mind, for my good friend Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy, this is T-Roll saying thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.